Welcome to the Science and Spirituality Podcast, where we dive deep into universal spiritual principles and ground them in modern science. My name is Chris Carden.
And my name is Kevin Carden. And we are committed to simplifying the spiritual side of success for you with easy to understand scientific research so you could walk away with practical tools to create radical transformations in your life. Let's get started.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of the Science and Spirituality Podcast. It's another special episode today because we have a guest. So obviously I'm here with Kevin, my co-host, and then today we're talking with Evan Reiter, who is a motivational speaker. And we've known Evan for a while. We're really good friends, and he's got a really inspiring story about how he overcame a lot of hardships in his life. And so he inspires me on a daily basis. And so we're hoping that you hearing his story will give you some inspiration too. So Evan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, I am so honored I'm so honored to be on your show. So
yeah,
honored.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to do this for a long time, so it's really good that, we finally made some time. So yeah, I just wanted to start with, if you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and maybe just a bit about your story.
So basically for me, I am an advocate, and my passion is helping people realize what they're missing out in life. Because I know, especially now, society is realizing that it's just important to have mental health just as physical health, because health is wealth. If you don't have mental health, it will affect your physical health. It goes hand in hand. So for me, at the age of 4, I was diagnosed with something called Tourette syndrome. It's something that I would never wish upon my own enemy. It put me through the most challenging times in my life. I felt like a prisoner in my own body. So from the age of 4 to 11, I was ticking nonstop. I couldn't even go into a movie theater. People would say, oh, guy, shut up, be quiet. And I was embarrassed. My mom. I felt so bad for my mom because she would be so worried about how people would think of me. And then at the end of 5th grade is when it got from here all the way to here. Because then I switched schools because the school I was in, it was not helping at all. So from 8th grade until the time I finished high school, I was a constant roller coaster. I was on over 40 different medications, and I was a loss. I felt like I was lost. And I hit my own version of rock bottom, was actually in 2005 is when I was first in a psych unit, because I was having I was doing so many things that for today it was like, damn, like I cannot believe I was doing that. It was bad. So when I hit my own version of rock bottom, I was so broke and broken. I don't know how it happened. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but I excuse my French, I fucked up my finances. I ended up from a 700 credit score all the way to a 540. I even had to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy at the age of 24, and it just went down and down. But you know what? Looking back, it helped me become the person I am today, especially for you and Kevin, because after I joined social media, I was trying to find adventure. I was trying to find people who were like-minded, and then in 2000, Chris, I think we met in 18, right? I think we met in 2018, right? Yeah. So I remember I was going through Instagram, and I was like, wait a second. Okay. You know what? I think this guy has a story. So, we talked, and I remember when we started talking, and then after that we met at a Starbucks down in
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan. I was like, wow. And then after I left that, I was like, wait a second. There is so much more to life than I was seeing. And fast forward, the after I friended you for 6 months, I asked you if you know any speakers. You said yes. And you offered me to see the speaker, Mary. And I was like, yes, please take me. And that day we went, that catapulted me to a level I had never seen before. After seeing Mary, I mean, all of you guys are like a family to me, because all of us, a dream builder, we are trying to build a dream. And it was that right there, I'll be honest, it saved my life. And that is the God's honest truth.
Shameless plug for Dream Builder Live and Mary Morrissey.
Yes, I'm serious.
Yeah, no, definitely. I actually, so just like, because I've heard your story multiple times, and like I've heard different versions, like longer versions and more in-depth versions of it. And I know that when we talk a lot, like you say that when you were growing up, like a lot of people told you that you wouldn't be able to have a job, like you wouldn't be able to finish school, like you wouldn't be able to drive. And so can you like talk a little bit about that? Like people telling you couldn't do things?
So,
and then,
basically, I was told I would never finish college. And you know what? At first I thought, okay. At first I felt so stupid. And I was stupid myself for listening to the negative haters. But what I'll tell you is, people out there, you will never get what you want if you listen to the haters. See, right now I'm in the car that I earned myself. No one thought that I would have a car. No one. So every day I turn the key. It's like turning the key to wow, I really have come far, and I have so much forward, and I still have so much to work on. But as as for something you taught me, Chris, everything is temporary, good and bad. That's something that I'm still in my life every day, and I that is so motivating.
Yeah. And I think that's like important for everyone listening to understand too, about there's going to be people in your life that are going to tell you that you can't do something. And I know that we're all going to experience that in certain levels. And I mean, Evan, that's why I say that you inspire me on a daily basis.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Because of all the things that people told you that you would never be able to do. And I'm thinking like, and Kev, like from like our like upbringing and stuff, like I feel like we were like relatively like sheltered, you know what I mean? Like we didn't really struggle much, like all that stuff. And so like when I hear different perspectives and different stories, like it really opens my eyes to like like the kind of like the power of the human spirit. Like, but was there a time though when you were growing up, like where you did listen to people that said you couldn't do
I did.
kind of like,
I did. Like I said, I did listen to people, and I actually for a few years I stopped going to college because I was not on the same level as I am now. You know, I honestly felt hopeless. You know, and from 2009 until now, I went from 0 friends to having the most amazing family. And I say that with passion because family is not just blood. You and Kevin, Julie, you guys are family to me. I cannot stress. With Chris, you and Kevin have helped me in so many more ways than I can begin to thank you for. Really.
Well, the cool part about it all though is that like you were willing to receive support and actually, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people will like they'll get like left and right, like they'll get opportunities to be helped out of certain situations and they won't take it because I feel like a lot of people they like to feel like they're a victim in certain situations because it's comfortable for them. You know? Like there was like the saying that like misery loves company. Like
it's true.
There's a reason why when you talk about your problems, like other people talk about their problems because it feels good that other people have problems and it makes it feel like it's okay to stay in a certain place. So like you could have been offered all the help in the world, but if you didn't choose to accept it and rise up and do the work yourself too, like you wouldn't be in the position you are today. So it's also a testament to you. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and Evan, I have a question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
Because like you said that, you met up with Chris and that like really started to change your life. But one of the principles I operate on is that we attract who we are. And
Yes.
so you attracted Chris into your life. So like what was the turning point for you? Like it has to, this is what I believe. And I'm sure we'll hear a version of your story that is like this, is that it has to start with us. It has to
Yes.
start with ourselves choosing to change. So like, what was that changing point for you? Because you said like you were in like the rock bottom and like 5
Yeah.
or like you really messed up. So like, what was the change for you? Obviously, I'm sure it took some time, but like, what shifted for you to come out of that situation?
That's actually a fantastic question because I remember my sister, she's my inspiration. She asked me, Evan, the exact question. She asked me if I wanted a life of meaning and purpose or to be just stuck and be a statistic. I was like, whoa.
Mm.
You know what? And I'll be honest, there were times where I almost threw in the towel. You know what? But something inside me said, there, and I say this every day, there is always a light at the end of the dark tunnel.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have a famous, I think it was said by the speaker Brown, Les Brown, every human is a sum of the 5 people they associate with, which goes to say, a bird of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
So the 5 people you surround yourself with, they are going to, either they help you or they keep you stuck.
Yeah.
So that question from your sister like really triggered inside of you, like,
It did.
like I don't want to be a statistic, like I actually want to make purpose and meaning. And it's kind of like interesting because like I'm like now I'm thinking about Kev, because we talk about this sometimes too, just like offline, like just when we're talking in general. It's about like do you feel like you're gonna make it out of this, like when you're feeling like really sad, right? And the answer is always yes. And it's kind of crazy, like now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like even like giving up, like you have to choose to give up every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a choice because every single day, like you have to be like, okay, like I'm not going to get out of it today. But there's always like that feeling inside of you that you're going to be able to make it out, which is why you have to either choose to get out or choose to continue staying where you are. So yeah. And again, like having support always helps with that too. But like, that was a good question though, because it does like start within you, you know?
Yeah, and that's I love that you shared that, Evan, and that's
Thank
like
you.
what's
Thank
really
you.
been in your mind, because one of the principles I coach
Thank
my
you.
clients into is that the quality of questions you ask determines the quality of life that you live.
So true.
It's because the questions that you ask have a vibration to it, and that the question that your sister asked, that's a high vibrational question.
Yeah.
And so therefore your answer was highly vibrational, high vibration.
Yeah.
So it shifted you. So it's awesome.
Yeah, because like think about it, like she could have easily said like why are you like this? And then your mind would have answered that question of all the reasons why you're like this. Like it wouldn't have caused you to think at a higher plane than what you were currently thinking at now. And also another shameless plug for life coaches, Kev. I feel like that's why your job's so important because like you have like you turn that you like turn the perspective on people to have them ask questions that they're currently they might not be aligned with or vibrating with right now, but you need to ask yourself those questions so you can get different answers.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Evan, like your story and what you've gone through, like that's made you an advocate for people in mental health, right? Because you were in the system, as you would say, like, and then you saw like what it did to people and stuff. And so that's one of your missions now too. So if you want to talk a little about that, that'd be great.
Yes. So basically in the system, I have seen things that I've seen things that are horrific, things that I can't unsee, and see, because from the 60s until now, things have changed. From cars to cell phones, but the school system and mental health, it's still here. That is a huge problem. And the fact that we're not teaching more about how to be an advocate and for mental health in schools, that is a huge problem, because right now there are so many kids who are on so many psychotropics when they actually don't need it. And which actually for Chris, showed me a fantastic author. I finished the book. Shout out to Amen.
Yeah, Dr. Amen.
And yes, that book. Oh my God, I would have never thought that we were a product of our own environment, and that so many of these doctors are prescribing things and treating us like we are an experiment. When in fact, if you just do a scan, you'd see that there's either a toxin, but that really was so eye-opening. So that was very inspiring when I saw that.
Mm-hmm. So like in the work that you do now too, like as an advocate to people, like you like what do you tell people in the situation that you used to be in? Like what do you tell them to kind of help them out of that?
I tell people, you know what? And the first thing I tell them, I ask them, what are you grateful for today? Because I know for Chris, I ask it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when we're having a shitty day, like there is always something to be grateful for: life, health, family. If you have the three most basic things in life, you are rich already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for me, I have a problem because sometimes I think about the next step. You know what? Now I'm learning that we have to take it day by day, especially now with what's going on with so many people getting sick. So and wait a second. Also, self-care. Wait a second. Self-care. Well, yeah, I want to talk about this. So listen. So guys, so self-care is so important because if you are letting people take from you, and if you are letting people constantly take out from you, it is going to be physically exhausting, and that's going to have effect on your psyche, on so many things. So fill your cup up and make sure it stays that way. And self-care.
And this is something you actually mentioned to me a lot about, and I want you to talk about it a little bit because you know more than me. Like the fact that on the topic of self-care, that people who have mental health issues, they don't take care of themselves, right? And they actually, you gave me some statistic about how there's do you know what I'm talking about? How they shorter lifespan or something?
It's sad but true. But they said for people who have an illness, for people who have a psychiatric illness, their lifespan, the average lifespan is, if they don't practice self-care, the odds of them living goes down by 25 years. I've seen it.
Damn. Yeah.
And it's like I ask myself, how come people are doing this? And you know what? I think because all those years of the psychiatrist, therapist had told them that they're crazy, that the label is stuck to them.
Yeah.
And the label, that's a problem. It's a stigma. And people, and for me, I tell people, it's okay to not be okay. Life isn't perfect. Yes, I may seem happy, but listen, sometimes I may have a shitty day. It happens. And you should be open to talk about it. If you don't, it just goes up and up and up.
That's like a huge thing, the label. Because if you think about someone who's grown up with and they've been told by doctors, people with these degrees and people who know what they're talking about, telling you that you have a certain condition, you're especially when you're younger, you're going to just default believe them. Yeah. And then so when we talk a lot about, Kev, on this podcast too, about beliefs and how that affects who you are and what you end up doing with your life and the actions that you take. And so if you get this belief that you're broken or that there's something wrong with you at a young age, that can follow through to adulthood. And so when you're actually trying to change, like you said, when you talk to these people, sometimes they're like, this is just who I am. Yeah, because they have that belief about what they are and what they're capable of. But, and even going back to your story, when people were telling you that you couldn't do this or you couldn't do that, when you let those people, what they said, when you let that sink in and you started believing that about yourself, you didn't think that you could do anything. But then once you transcended to a different level of I actually can do this. I'm not broken. Look at all the things you were able to accomplish. And it all started with you changing that belief about yourself. So I think that's really important for people who might have a label of a disorder. Like you're not broken. Like there's things that you
Yeah.
can do, and there's other ways that you can seek out help. So
And I
Yeah.
think another point to like go in with that is what you said, Evan, that you're the product of the 5 people you hang out with most.
Yes.
Like, I think it's
Yes.
also really important to have people in your life, and this goes for everyone, but especially for people who struggle with their mental health, is someone who had struggled as well and is struggling, but is living their life a lot more expanded. Like they practice self-care, like they're kind to themselves and they're moving forward with their dreams, so that they're not believing that because they have this issue that they can't live a life that they absolutely love. So that they can have the example, because it's so important to have examples in your life. And now with technology, with the internet, like I believe we can find that anywhere. Just do a quick Google search and you'll find groups, organizations, different things that could support. But it's just, you have to search, you have to go looking, you have to decide and want it.
mm-hmm.
Yes, so true. And also, I'll tell you, and also this is because for me, every day I watch at least one inspiring video. And, and all these videos I get out is that if you don't take action on your dream, it will never happen. It will never
Yeah.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because as the saying goes, action speaks so much louder than just saying it. I could say, oh yeah, I want to be rich. But if you don't take the action and the steps to become that person,
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about having, as Kevin said, having a belief system, and also realizing that we are so much stronger than our circumstances. If you look at the people who changed the world, from the author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, Oprah, Thomas Edison, he said, it's not that I found it's not that I found 10,000 mistakes. It's just that I found 10,000 ways that do not work. So it's a proven system. It's possible. It's just you have to keep on going and going, and
Yeah,
to
100%.
never give up.
Yeah,
Because what's okay?
Oh, I was just gonna point out Thomas Edison and his story. I think he only went to, like, I don't know if he even went to high school.
Dude, did you see my
Yeah.
Instagram post?
No.
Did you see my Instagram post about Thomas Edison?
No, what?
Like, I reposted it from someone, but basically, like his.
Oh wait,
his,
yeah, I did, but it's been a while. So yeah, what is it?
And I don't know how true it is, but he got like his teacher gave him a letter in like 3rd grade and told him to give it to his mom without opening it, and his mom opened it and then she read it out loud, and it was like, oh, like your son is super smart and he doesn't belong here, so you should teach him at home because we're not going to be able to teach him appropriately because he's too smart. And then so his mom homeschooled him, but then like after his mom died, he found the actual letter from his teacher, and the letter actually said, your son is like mentally disabled and we can't teach him anymore, so you have to teach him at home because we can't teach him, he's too dumb. And so his mom like taught him at home, and he ended up being like the greatest inventor ever. And it's because his mom inspired that belief in him that like, no, you're not dumb. Like just because someone says you are, like there's potential in you. And so that was like, I don't know how true that story is, but it involves Thomas Edison.
It was so inspiring.
Kind of sounds like something that would be true about him though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention real quick before I forget about you were saying about how it's important for people to have examples. Yeah. And Evan, I think that's why your story is so important, and why it's important that you share your story. It's because like there's a lot of people who are in a situation that you were like 10 years ago, or kids that are growing up with who think that they're different and they don't fit in, and they could be, they could really use an example like you of like, hey, like I went through all this hardship and all of this stuff happened to me, but like, look, like people said I couldn't do this and I'm doing this, and people said I couldn't do this and I'm doing this. And it's just like really inspiring to see people going through similar things and how they got through it. So never stop sharing.
Thank you so much. No, listen, thank you. And also I'd like to add, for the past 6 months, I've been finalizing my first book. So my first book, yes, I want to share about that. Basically, so basically, for me, I have since school, I have always found a passion for free writing, especially now, with cell phones and how so many people could just go on iPad to read. So for people who want to see my full story, I have both and I have a physical book. I have a physical book on Amazon for $7.99, and I have a version for Kindle for $5.99. Just type in EVAN REITER, and then after that YOUNG Young, and then WAIRRIOR, the Warrior. Also, I have a site. If you want to see that too. It's very inspiring. I think you like it. It's EVANREITER.com. And also, as you could see, I am stuttering because it is something that, for the past few years I've been trying to work on. And also a shout out to my stuttering coach, first name Aaron T. He has helped me so much. And see, because at first in 2015, I shared my story at a conference in front of almost 200 people, and I got a standing ovation. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I think I have something here. Mm-hmm. That's why my goal is to reach so many people across the world. Because as a speaker, I could speak about so many different things and not just about, something so negative. See, because as I said earlier, even if you're having a bad day, flip that around and say, I am loved, I am worthy. It is those affirmations that really help.
Yeah. We're gonna put your website and we'll put the link to the book in the show notes. So if anyone wants to check it out, we'll put that there, like your website. We can also put your Instagram handle so people know how to find you on Instagram. Which would be cool. Much. Did you have something to say that you wanted to add? Like, I know we kind of interrupted you. No, I'm telling you.
No. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Did you have something?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. So yeah, just to wrap up the episode, Evan, is there anything that you want to tell everyone, anyone listening, a final
Yes. Guys, listen. It's going to be tough, but you can't give up. And just understand, we're all in this together. In life, we grow through what we go through. And and just understand that, like I said, it may be hard, but there is a light at the end of the dark tunnel, and keep fighting. All right?
Awesome. Thanks for that message.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Thanks, Evan.
All right, Chris. Take it, buddy. Be well.
That's it for today. So thanks for tuning in, and we really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as we enjoyed recording it. So any questions, any comments, just connect with us on Instagram. You could always DM us at Kevin Francis Carton
and at Chris J. Carton. And also, if you feel guided to, the one thing we do ask is for you to please rate the podcast and leave us a review. This way we can reach more people and impact more lives with this amazing information. With that, we'll see you on the next episode.